Thank you for attending this breakout session. This session is filled with powerful information to help improve your health and empower you. Radio Free 102.3 KJLH. We are you.
Ladies, good morning. Welcome back to this cooking segment. Again, this year, 21st annual KJLH Women's Health Expo. Happy to be your captain today, Norwood. And today we're going to be cooking up some great items today. We got a very special dish for all of you. It's going to be a vegan, dairy-free, oil-free, gluten-free filet gumbo along with some okra in it. And many of you who was here last year remember the red beans and rice that we cooked? Well, it's going to be a little different this year. And this is something that dates back all the way back to Africa. The word gumbo originated from okra, and that's one of the major ingredients in this particular dish today. It's amazing how we don't realize how far our culture goes back, all the way back to Africa, to West Africa to be exact. And the Africans, our ancestors, brought this over from Africa and made it a very nutritious, special dish. And some of the ingredients that we have, quite naturally, we're going to start off with the Trinity. This is going to be a brown onion. You have your celery, and you have your green bell pepper. This is known as the Trinity. And along with this, we're going to add some parsley. We're going to add, of course, you can't do a New Orleans style gumbo without some fresh garlic. And we're going to top it off with some brown rice. And we have some Beyond sausage that's absolutely amazing. And we have some of Food for Less, Ralph's own house brand, which is Simple Truth. We're going to be adding to this. Many of these items that you're looking at right now comes from Food for Less, Ralph's. So one shop stopping, all of this at your local Ralph's Food for Less stores. Let's support the local neighborhood, and we want to thank Ralph's and Food for Less for being a major sponsor again this year for the Women's Health Expo. Ladies, what would a health expo be without another beautiful lady to participate in this wonderful dish here? I'd like to introduce my sister from a different mister, Miss Linda Avery. This is her beautiful kitchen that we're working in right now, and she's going to be, we're going to be assisting each other. She's going to be doing the slicing and dicing, and I'm going to be doing the roux over here. So over here, she's going to be prepping the Trinity. You remember that? That's the onion, that's the celery, and that's the bell pepper. So she's going to dice that up while I'm making the roux. And she's also going to dice up the green onions and also the parsley and also the garlic. And so this is all going to come combined. As I mentioned to you earlier, this is a layered process. This is going to be a 3-hour process to cook, ladies. But the most important aspect about this particular dish is the roux that I'm standing in front of right now and getting ready to make. So I got my gluten-free butter, and I got my gluten-free, vegan-free flour. So we're making the roux. We have our vegan butter. Everything that we're doing right now is cholesterol free. You can't get cholesterol out of plants. That's the amazing aspect about this particular dish here in respect to clean, all plant products. Not one animal product is involved in here. As you can see here, I'm melting the vegan butter. I have my gluten-free flour, adding this to it. As I mentioned, ladies, if you got to use the restroom, you got to hold it. If you start making that roux, remember there's 3 different types of roux. There's a white roux, the blonde roux. This is a little blonde here, and the brown roux. We like to go for the brown. But this is going to be very simple to make, ladies. You can do this. And one thing about gumbo is a very eclectic dish. You know, whatever your fancy happens to be, that's what it is. I mean, gumbo, as we said earlier, originated from Africa. It's a root word of okra. Now, I don't know how you get gumbo out of okra, but they did. So, you know, most folks say, what's the correct color? What's no correct color? It's just basically how you like it. You know, one thing about cooking that I found is the fact that it's your own imagination. You know, it's all about how you want your dish to taste. All right, ladies, as you can see, we're down to the final stages of this roux here. That nice peanut butter brown look over here. We have our Beyond sausage here, which is plant-based. And what we're going to do, we're going to add this to the roux to saute this. Do a little pre-cooking here. I'm going to add this to it. The roux alone took about 45 minutes to cook. Gonna mix that in there. Let those proteins from the Beyond Meat get in that flour, in the gluten-free flour. Take it out of here. Just set this aside. We're going to start off with the onions. That sizzle. Now we're going to add the celery. Yes. Now we can put in the bell peppers. This is going to be the final of the Trinity. The green bell peppers. Man. Yes. I like to add a little seasoning to this so that it can cook and marinate with this. It just brings out the flavor. And I like sea salt. Sea salt is better than the regular salt. And it's more nutritional for you. The celery, as I mentioned earlier, celery has sodium in it, a natural sodium. So I think this is ready now. So we're going to allow this to sit for a minute while we prepare the stock, because this is going to go into the stock. Okay, family, as you can see here, we have our vegetable broth. Instead of using water, we're going to add some flavor. This is all organic vegetable broth. Again, came out of Food for Less, Roux. So you have 3 containers of this. We want to make sure that we have as much flavor as we can possibly get out of this one dish. Because with all the ingredients that we're currently using, you can see all the ingredients bring its own special flavor. And we're going to put the cover over this. We'll allow this to come to a boil. Then we can raise the heat on this one. Not too high, but a little higher than we had it for the roux and for the vegetables. And then when this comes to a boil, then we're going to add those fresh sauteed vegetables. All right, family, welcome back. As I mentioned, now we have our broth simmering. We're going to add the sauteed vegetables. That's what we made earlier. Add this to the broth. And it smells good. Looks good. All right. Add this. Stir this up really good here. Infuse this vegetable. Then we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes. You can do stewed tomatoes as well, whatever your preference happens to be. Again, traditional New Orleans gumbo, they don't really add tomatoes in it, but this is not a traditional New Orleans gumbo. You remember I said earlier that this is a New Orleans style. This is a vegan, gluten-free gumbo, so we're doing things a little differently. Ooh. Okay. Little tomatoes. Now is the time to start adding a little spice to this. My all-time favorite is the Louisiana cayenne. So we're going to take a dab of this. Again, the reason why, even though I have this tablespoon or teaspoon, but I'm not going to use the entire teaspoon. Everything is to taste, and everybody's taste and tolerance is different. I got my sea salt here. Love me some sea salt. Sprinkle some of that for those low sodium people. And I have some little white pepper here. I enjoy white pepper as well, so we're going to do that. And we're going to give it a good stir. And then we're going to come back and put the lid and allow this to come to a boil again, because at that time the vegetables should be really infused in the broth and in the roux. So we're going to do that. And while this is simmering and boiling, what we're going to do next, we're going to make some brown rice. All right, ladies, now it's time for the next step. We're going to put in the remainder of the vegetables. We're going to start out with the green onions. Stir this up right quick so I can infuse. Now the next one will be the parsley. This is fresh parsley. And then my personal favorite, garlic. Man, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. Then we're going to again let this cover, and we're going to have one final step right after this. Ladies, this is a 3-hour process just to cook. So you think about the roux, which is the most important aspect of this gumbo. The roux alone is how long? Yeah, you're right, 45 minutes at least. You want that roux nice and brown, peanut butter color. You want a great consistency, and you want to continually stir the roux so you won't burn. So we're going to cover this again, and we're going to come back after this has been cooked, and we're going to add the final ingredients. Ladies, welcome back. We are in the home stretch right now. Man, before I take this lid off, let me just show you this. We have our shrimp that's made from monk fruit. We have our Beyond Meat, and we also have our chicken that's not made from chicken, also a plant-based product as well. And quite naturally, this is the star of the show right here, okra, where all things came from when it comes to gumbo. And then we have our gumbo filet that's going to top it off here. That's going to be the icing on the cake for us. A little secret sauce there. Take this lid off. We're going to add the okra. Man, there's nothing like some good fresh okra. Then we're going to add our protein. I'm going to slide that in. So far, this has been cooking for about 2 hours. So again, this doesn't take too long to finish off here. You don't want to overcook the protein. As you remember, the Beyond sausage, we sauteed that earlier, and we pre-cooked that to get some of that flavor from the sausage that went into the vegan butter that we sauteed the vegetables in. So all that's layered flavors. Oh. Then we put a little seasoning in the vegetables while I was marinating the vegetables. And we're going to cover this pot one last time. And during the cooking process, we already cooked our rice. So we got our brown rice here on standby, just ready to be eaten. It's that holding mode. Put the lid back on this. And then when we come back, ladies, we're going to put a little filet in it. And we're going to plate this, and we're going to eat this. Oh, it's absolutely amazing here. Now we're going to add a little filet. That's the secret sauce or the secret spice. Just a dab. You can just do it like this. Oh yeah, that smell, that sassafras. This comes from the sassafras tree. Ladies, you've outdone yourself. Who wants the first bowl? Let me see a show of hands. All right, I don't know we have that many to feed. I don't know if we have that much to feed all of you, but we're going to do our best. Remember, this recipe is going to be online for the next year. Always go back to it. So we're talking about a 3.5-hour process, ladies, to cook this particular dish here. This is a vegan, gluten-free, New Orleans style gumbo. There's no animal products in this at all. So this is great for your diet. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we got the brown rice. It's more nutritious for you than the plain white rice. And we're just going to put a dab here. Oh my goodness. Look at that. What a work of art. Now that's what you call New Orleans style vegan gluten-free gumbo. Ladies, have a wonderful time at the Women's Health Expo. Thank you again for allowing us in your homes. But more importantly, thank you for allowing us in your hearts. Have a great life. Be well. And thank you again.
The Radio Free 102.3 KJLH 21st Annual Women's Health Expo, brought to you virtually by the City of Long Beach and Fresno County Black Infant Health Program.